Hello and welcome to this presentation about Nespresso and their marketing strategies. The following presentation will cover a range of explanations of Nespresso's marketing and will compare to their competitors along the way. It will detail four main topics: motivation, self-concept, perception and learning and memory, within which we'll detail four consumer insights theories. These will focus on the effectiveness of them and how Nespressos have utilised them to their advantage, as well as the techniques used by the competitors and how that compares. A Nespresso machine can be identified as a specialty product defined by Kotler and Armstrong as a consumer product with unique characteristics or brand identification, for which a significant group of buyers is willing to make a special purchase effort for. It is not unreasonable to think that an espresso machine is a product that consumers want and don't necessarily need. Nespresso is a Nestlé-owned company founded in Switzerland in 1986. It is now a globally recognised brand presented in 85 countries including China, Cyprus and Portugal. Nespresso manufacture coffee machines and currently have 7 machines on the market, alongside their coffee pod capsules and other accessories. Nespresso opened their first boutique in the year 2000 and has expanded across the country with a total of 57 stores. There is one located in Leeds City in the Victoria Centre. They are well known for their adverts by using Hollywood actor George Clooney to endorse the brand. Nespresso's competitors include Kenco Coffee and Tassimo, both owned by Jacob Dow. According to Marketline, in 2018, Nestlé had 19.8% of the market share in the UK and competitors Dow Egberts had 16.3%. Since then, in 2020, a Mintel report stated that Nescafé has increased their market share to 22%, similarly to Dow Egberts, who had also increased their share to 19%, a growth of 2.7%. Other brands take up the majority of the market with 28%. Lavazza is also a competitor within the coffee pod industry. It has a net revenue of £1.9 billion and sells products globally in over 140 countries. The coffee market has grown by 29% from 2015 through to 2020 and is now said to be worth an estimated £1.4 billion. In 2018, the sales of coffee pods saw sales worth £210 million, increasing to £217 million the following year, and in 2020 now is worth £260 million. Instant coffee is still the market leader, contributing over £800 million in the previous 3 years. The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the closure of coffee shops and the hospitality industry for a prolonged period of time, causing an increase in at-home coffee drinking. A Mintel report showed a survey stating that 3 in 5 people have a coffee system at home. The same report also stated that the market for those who own a coffee pod machine is usually higher than those earning a bigger salary, normally £50,000 plus. A Statista report from 2017 reported that the majority of consumers who own an espresso machine are 40 to 49-year-olds, with 18% of the market, and 17% of Nespresso machine owners are 50 to 59-year-old. Motivation is the first concept going to be discussed. It is defined by Solomon as the process that causes people to behave as they do, and it is the idea to identify why. Consumers have desires to satisfy their needs, and this is called a want. They want to feel fulfilled, and this is a driver of consumer behaviour. There are 4 types of consumer needs, and 2 of them can be applied here. The consumer wants to satisfy their hedonic needs. These needs are to satisfy pleasure, enjoyment, and fun. They are subjective, which means it is based upon personal feelings and opinions. The consumer also has the desire to fulfill their psychogenic needs, the urge to feel a part of a group or society. In this instance, they want to become part of Nespresso's effort to help the environment. Nespresso's most recent advert was their Positive Cup campaign. This can be explained using Hull's drive reduction theory, also known as the push theory. The advert opens with a black screen with the statement, "How a cup of coffee can bring about positive change, creating value for society and the environment." The following content shows how Nespresso is trying to make a change and aid climate issues by using recyclable capsules from their coffee pods that are infinitely recyclable, planting 3.5 million trees, and the coffee being reused to generate electricity. The push theory states that consumers' behaviour is directed to the goal of homeostasis, a balanced and stable condition, and consumers strive to resolve or reduce tension and problems. Nespresso apply the push theory by using fear marketing. According to Williams, fear appeal relies on a threat to an individual's well-being that motivates him or her towards action. Climate change is a threat to the population, therefore Nespresso used the problem of the environment to generate purchase efforts from consumers. Through buying from Nespresso, consumers are contributing towards the effort of resolving environmental issues, which links into the customer's psychogenic needs of feeling fulfillment. The product the consumer chooses is expected to have a positive consequence. Tassimo demonstrate this in their press play commercial. It suggested that if customers were to purchase the coffee machine, it will produce an environment that will make everyone happy. Throughout the 20-second advert, it shows family and friends coming over to a couple's apartment which is magically expanding, with the machine making drinks for everyone to enjoy. The advert is concluded by a voiceover saying, "Tassimo, everyone's favourite drinks at your fingertips," suggesting that this is a positive outcome and incentive for purchase. Competitor Tassimo instead reinforces the expectancy theory, also known as pull theory. Solomon suggested that behaviour is largely pulled by expectations of achieving desirable outcomes, positive incentives, rather than being pushed from within. The adverts use two different approaches, however, both adverts want to generate the same response: increase sales. Nespresso have used a topic that encourages an emotive response of the viewer, climate change, whereas Tassimo have used a more friendly and relatable environment, a home. Nespresso's commercial may drive more consumers to purchase, as this issue is very topical right now, and they have used it to their advantage. Self-concept is defined as the beliefs a person holds about their attributes and how they evaluate these qualities. This can be in a positive or negative light. Sergey proposed the idea that consumers are motivated to either preserve or enhance self-concept through different products they consume. In this case, consumers may buy a Nespresso machine to enhance aspects of the self, as it is considered a luxury product. Nespresso are able to target consumers through fantasy appeal, a technique that identifies discrepancies between consumers' actual self and ideal self. Consumers fantasize a life of being rich and famous, and Nespresso are able to aim commercials and adverts to fit this idea. Nespresso used Hollywood actor George Clooney to reinforce the aspects of Nespresso being a luxury brand and to pinpoint the consumers who aspire to be like him. Clooney has become one of the best-known actors in the world and is known for his class, sophistication and glamorous lifestyle. Clooney has been a brand ambassador since 2006 and has reinforced the concept of luxury coffee for over a decade. This advert is simple yet effective. As you can see here, Clooney is pictured with a coffee next to an espresso machine. Nespresso uses fantasy appeal in this advert by making the advert appear sophisticated, and this reflects Clooney's attitude and lifestyle. These appeal to consumers as they associate the coffee with luxury and high-class lifestyle, which can be consumed when an espresso machine is bought. Lavazza Coffee also use celebrity endorsement to promote their brand. They use retired tennis legend Andre Agassi in partnership with the US Open. In the advert, Andre Agassi is sat drinking Lavazza coffee with flashbacks of moments of his tennis career coming up on the screen. The idea behind the advert is to support and change underprivileged children's lives. This appeals to the consumer's ideal self, a person's conception of how they would like to be. The consumer will feel like they have contributed something positive towards helping others, which aids one to become closer to their ideal self. The advert concludes with the line, "A legacy in every cup." This is also fantasy appeal, as consumers may wish a life of becoming famous and leaving a legacy behind. By purchasing a Lavazza coffee machine, this may help the consumer believe they can become a legend too. Nespresso uses the theory of fantasy appeal and the use of celebrity endorser George Clooney to promote a lifestyle that people aspire to have, in effect promoting sales of this Nespresso coffee machine. This endorsement encourages consumers to buy a Nespresso machine because if Hollywood actor George Clooney can enjoy it, it must be good. Lavazza uses celebrity endorsement too, however, the advert appeals to the viewer's ideal self. The commercial promotes what the viewer may want to achieve, in this example, wanted to help the disadvantaged. The next concept is perception. Perception is the process by which stimuli, light, colour and sound are selected, organised and interpreted. Sensory marketing is popular within the food and drink industry. Sensory marketing can be defined as marketing that engages the consumer's senses and affects their perception, judgment and behaviour. Consumers rely on their senses to evaluate a brand's products or services. In this case, it's coffee. There are 3 stages of the perceptual process: attention, interpretation and perception. The perceptual process translates stimuli into meaning. Nespresso have coffee boutiques that utilise sensory marketing. Waller stated, "Sensory marketing and branding enable building a relationship with the brand, keeping the brand awareness alive, increasing sales and exceeding the competition to a higher extent. The consumer is exposed to smell, taste, texture and colour of the coffee in a boutique, more than can be experienced through the adverts." Small and Prescott suggested that smell is considered to be one of the most important drivers of the taste perception. This is vital information for Nespresso, as their boutiques are able to create the aroma of coffee, which can generate custom from those walking past the shop and customers who are already there. When the customers are physically able to taste and smell the coffee as well as try out the coffee machine, customers are going to be more likely to buy, as they know what they're getting before they make the investment. Peck and Wiggins suggested that the opportunity to touch products has been shown to have a persuasive influence on the customer's attitudes and behaviours, connoting that Nespresso's boutiques are an effective method of marketing. Lavazza and Tassimo do not have a shop unlike competitor Nespresso. Neither Tassimo nor Lavazza use sensory marketing in their advertising campaigns either. This is a missed marketing opportunity for them to attract new customers, as it is not unreasonable to think it boosts sales. Although these machines may be able to view in an apartment store such as John Lewis, they are unable to experience the smell and taste of coffee that may be accessible through a shop dedicated to the brand. Nespresso utilised the theory of sensory marketing to its full advantage, with the boutiques allowing customers to enjoy the senses and behaviours that the shop creates. Competitors Tassimo and Lavazza are missing out on a marketing strategy that works effectively and are therefore unable to increase their sales. Learning is defined as the activity or process of acquiring knowledge or skills by studying, practicing or experiencing something. Classical conditioning is the learning through association whereby 2 previously unpaired stimuli become linked. Nespresso want to achieve this. When people think of coffee, they want you to think of Nespresso as the first brand. Similar to when you think of McDonald's, you think of fast food. To achieve this, Nespresso are very active on their social media. Solomon stated that repeated exposure increases the strength of the stimulus response associations and prevent the decay of these associations in memory. By uploading frequently onto their Instagram, which has over 50,000 followers, the brand is reinforcing and reminding people that coffee equals Nespresso. Nespresso encourage interaction with their social media by the creation of #MyNespressoMoment, which allows users to upload their creations for others to see. Again, reminding those who see the post that Nespresso is a coffee company. Additionally, the use of their hashtag helps Nespresso connect with buyers on a more personal and interactive level. #MyNespressoMoment creates their own online community, further strengthening the connection between consumers and the brand, which may subsequently result in repeat purchases. Competitor Lavazza have differently used operant conditioning to increase sales. Operant conditioning is a process where desired behaviour is learnt via rewards and punishments. Sethner and Blythe stated, "An attribute of operant conditioning is that the participant has to play an active role in the process." Lavazza have implemented this technique by operating giveaways on their Instagram. In order to enter, users are required to like, comment and share the post, representing the company's attempt to increase the exposure of the brand. The giveaway drives a positive reinforcement for the consumer as they want to enter and win, which shows Lavazza's objective of wanting to increase purchases. Despite using a different technique to Nespresso, it cannot be denied that Lavazza have a similar objective of encouraging consumers to interact with the brand more. Liking, commenting and sharing posts drives engagement on social media platforms, which will further connect consumers to Lavazza, just as Nespresso aim to do through their hashtag. It is clear that both brands have used social media in an effort to engage consumers and promote their products. Nespresso have used classical conditioning as they want consumers to associate the company with coffee. If people can be conditioned to think of Nespresso as their first choice, it won't only increase sales but generate word-of-mouth marketing as they are speaking to others about coffee. In line with this, the likelihood of repeat purchasing will also increase. Lavazza have the same aims as Nespresso, however clearly use the different technique of operant conditioning in order to create positive reinforcement and generate productivity. Their method differently requires an active role from the user, whereas Nespresso's use of the hashtag represents their attempt at creating a community with their buyers. To conclude, Nespresso's use of marketing strategies are clearly effective as they are the market leader in the area of coffee pod capsule machines. Nespresso motivate their audience to help environmental issues by using Fair Appeal. They declare that Nespresso are dedicated on helping the planet by using aluminium capsules and planting trees, which idolizes them as a positive eco-friendly company. Differently, competitor Lavazza used the expectancy theory to pull consumers to the brand. Both strategies are effective because they both target their audience and use their adverts as incentive for purchase. However, Nespresso use the viewer's emotions to their advantage, which can generate higher purchase efforts. Their use of celebrity endorsement with George Clooney highlights discrepancies between the viewer's ideal self and actual self, which inspires the consumers to achieve that type of lifestyle. Nespresso persuade consumers that purchasing an Nespresso machine will enable them to reach their ideal self. Competitor Lavazza also use celebrity endorser of Andre Agassi. This appeals to the viewer's ideal self, which is clearly also an effective strategy. Classical conditioning enables the audience to remember Nespresso's marketing techniques. For example, they utilize social media as it has an enormous reach and is interactive for both company and user. Their creation of the hashtag strengthens the connection of the community they have built online and proves their trustworthiness as a brand. Similarly, Tasmo also uses a type of conditioning, however this is operant conditioning. This can be argued to be more effective as consumers are exposed to more rewards. Nespresso's impressive shopping experience they have created stimulates consumers' senses, which means they are more likely to purchase from the shop. Competitors fail to utilise sensory marketing, which may negatively impact them, clearly meaning Nespresso have a more effective strategy when it comes to the physical marketplace. It is of greatest importance to ensure Nespresso's marketers tailor commercials and marketing techniques in order to encourage higher purchase efforts. Consumer behaviour changes frequently and marketers need to act upon this in order to keep consumers engaged in purchasing. It is also valuable to use current events and issues to drive consumers to buy.